Good morning and welcome to Immigration Friday. My name is Rumbi Funzawabaya and I'm back after a long time not being on Immigration Fridays. Hello. I'm just going to check. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning. Please confirm if you can hear me. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning and welcome. Hello. How are you? Hi, I'm just checking on my phone, making sure that you can hear me. Please press, if you can hear me, press a like or press something so that I know that you can hear me. I remember last time I was talking to myself. Good. I'm quite clear. I can hear myself. So, good morning and welcome. Hi, Shelter. Hi, Lavinia. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Immigration Fridays. I haven't been here for about a month and I've been away. So it's been good to have some time off over summer. So I'm back at work, trying to catch up and back to the routine. So welcome. I'm in Coventry. And it's good that we've got some sunshine here. KwaBudoka Zuva. Where are you guys? Where are you? And how is the weather there? How are you doing? Great. Good. I think I'm just going to start and answer some of the questions and then leave this on here for anyone who's going to come on and watch on later on rewind or replay or later on. My name is Rumbi Vunzawabaya. I'm from an organization that's called Tulia. Tulia means to settle in Swahili, and our organization provides legal advice and support for migrants who are living in the UK. So if you watch the news, migration is such a big topic. It's all over the news. Asylum seekers coming on the boats. There is challenges. There's solicitors who are being challenged. There is so much that is going on in the immigration sector. And one of the things that we do is we provide a combination of advice. So we provide fee-paying advice to people who can afford to pay. That helps our organization to be sustainable. But we also have some work that is funded by our partners, by organizations, and even by ourselves from some of the profit that we make. And we're able to give free advice to the people who need it and who are destitute or who don't have any funds or who don't have any money. So there's people who are homeless. So we get referrals from homeless charities, from charities like P3, from social services, from refugees with victims of domestic violence. So there's people who are referred to us who are unable to even pay for their own food. and we provide free advice and representation right up until they've got their papers. We also provide support for them. So that is some of the work that we do, but we also have our fee-paying clients who pay us for our services. And Tulia, you can find us on www.tulia.org.uk. At the moment, we have a lot of clients who are new arrivals. So there's new arrivals from so many different places. There's new arrivals from all over the world coming to work in the UK. There's new arrivals who are coming in as asylum seekers. So there's people who are living in the hotels all over the UK. If you've seen it, there's such a shortage of accommodation all over the UK. So there's people who are in the hotels. There's people who are now wanting to be put on the barges. So we just help so many different types of people. And we're doing a great work. And I'm so proud of our team and proud of all the work that we do. And it's amazing. One of the things we do is Immigration Friday, where we also give advice, answer questions online for people who've got questions. So that's what I'm doing here today. I am giving advice, and our advice sessions are sponsored by our sponsors, JTI and Heart of England. So we have quite a lot of people who work with us, and the work that we do is some of it is funded, some of it is paid for. So this is one of the things that we do. So that's why I'm here to answer your questions and give advice. So I'm going to go straight on to the question without going on and on about what we do. But I'm going to ask one of the questions that came about changes to the certificates of sponsorship that came on the 7th of August. So July into August has been very active in so many different areas. And I'll do some summaries as well about the student visas and things like that. But initially, I want to talk about the changes in respect of the codes for care assistance. That's the question that has come up and up and up and up. And people have been asking that question. Can you comment on the amended document that the UK government put out? Have they taken 6141 and 6145 off the skilled worker visa umbrella? I can see 6146. Please state the implications going forward. So the immigration rules appendix for skilled occupation, I will post a link in the chat, has been amended, and the codes for the carers, which was 6145, was removed from there. We didn't see any announcement, so it caused quite a lot of confusion and panic, because people were saying, has it been taken off completely? Are we no longer able to sponsor carers? Is it only the senior carers who can be sponsored, or the auxiliary nurses? What happened? Has this route has enabled so many people to be able to migrate and come and work in the UK as carers? So there was a lot of panic around the 7th and the 8th of August around this issue. And still up to now, we haven't had any like an announcement or anything. But what I've noticed as well is that when you look on the health and care visa, because 6145 was introduced under the health and care visa, and there's a table on the link that was shared which says eligible health and education occupation codes, where going rates are based on national pay scales. And 6145 is still there. So I've seen it on there. It's not on appendix skilled occupations, but it is on the health and education occupation codes, which is just under, if you look on the UKVI website, it's just under that skilled occupation. I've also checked with the employer help desk. I've checked with the business help desk. I've assigned COSs for 6145 post the 7th. So people who've also applied for certificates of sponsorship have had them granted. after the 7th. So it appears as if it's still under the health and care visa, but it's been removed from the shortage occupation list, which is table 5. So I'm not sure if that is perhaps an indication of what is to happen, or perhaps it's a sign maybe that the Home Office wants to withdraw 6145 and only enable senior carers to come and nursing auxiliaries. I'm not saying anything that is definitive. I'm not saying definitely this has happened, it's been removed, because it's still on the health and care visa, which is on the UKVI website. It's still on the list. When you're assigning a COS, we've still assigned, like for our clients, for some of them, we assigned very quick because we were panicking. So we assigned, and they were able to be assigned on that day under that code for carers. So I don't want to say it's been removed. I don't want to say it won't be. I don't know. But what I do know is that it still appears on the health and care visas, and we've still been able to assign some. So there appeared to be a lot of confusion, and a lot of bloggers were coming on definitively saying it's been taken off. And I remember talking to our team, and they were saying, oh, should we say something? I said, but we're not sure, because we can't definitively say this is what's happened, because we're not the authority, and we've still been able to do it. So I think I just tried and saw that we could still assign certificates of sponsorship for people on that code, which is 6145. So aside from all that, I think it's just important for us to know that there is a need for labor. There's still a need for carers. There's a need for construction workers. There's a need for teachers. There's a need for nurses. There is a shortage of skilled workers and unskilled workers in terms of people like carers on that code 6145. But what will always happen is I've worked in immigration for so many years, and I've seen so many different schemes coming through, so many different things happening. And where there is a system that is abused, where there is a system that people take advantage of it, where there is a system where people are constantly complaining and constantly sending in reports to the Home Office, constantly things are coming out in the press, it will change. It will change. It will change. The Home Office will put measures in place to curtail things that are being abused. They will put measures in place to stop things where they think people are taking advantage of the system. So it's a reaction, isn't it? Every action causes a reaction. So as much as it's there, as much as there's a need for labor, there is also a need for controlling borders. There's also a need for safeguarding and protecting vulnerable people. There's also a need to call employers to account and to crack down on people who may be taking advantage of the system. So things will happen. The Home Office will make changes, and it's a matter of time. Already what we're seeing, they've introduced what they call the genuineness test to see whether people are genuine. So they're interviewing applicants, they're asking them about their skills, their application, they're interviewing them more than they were before. The Home Office is also checking with dependents who are coming, because they know that their schemes. You know what's funny is people think that, I always laugh at, I'm on some groups, and you'll be on a group and people will write in Shona. And they will write in the group, oh, do you guys know that there's Google Translate? And do you know that when journalists, when police are doing intelligence gathering, they will go wherever the information is. They will gather intelligence on Facebook groups. They will gather intelligence on WhatsApp groups. There is a person who was arrested for nyaya yekutengesa ma COS, right? And there are no jobs. but they're selling. This is the abuse that is going on, where somebody is selling certificates of sponsorship and entry where there is no jobs. That is a crime, and it is human trafficking. It is, because you are bringing in people into the UK, making them pay. It's exactly the same as the people who are bringing people on the boats, and the Home Office is constantly talking about them. They advertise on TikTok. They advertise to say, do you want to get on a boat to go to UK 10,000, wherever you're coming from? They advertise on TikTok, human traffickers. So the Home Office is aware of this. They talk about it. If you follow the Home Office, they follow them on Instagram. They put their ad. They say TikTokers who are advertising to smuggle people. They advertise. So where people are thinking that they're advertising crime on social media in Shona, they will Google translate it. They have people who are translators, who are able to translate things if they're looking for something. So they look, sorry, I'm getting confused. There's somebody who's texting me from my team and it's confusing my train of thought. I'll come back. But what I was just saying was, there is nothing that we're doing where we're hiding, where people are hiding, not we, where people are hiding, because it will come round. So every action causes a reaction. So as much as I can't definitively say that the code for the carer 6145 has been removed, I can't say it with authority, I wouldn't be surprised if it's removed soon, because of all the stuff that's going on. And the authorities are aware of it. The authorities are aware of it, so they will put measures in place to stop abuse. So like the spouse visas, where people are coming, who's not really their spouse, they're now questioning and scrutinizing and asking for more and more and more evidence. Even a marriage certificate on its own is not enough evidence. Even where people are applying for jobs, the Home Office is questioning them more about their skills, about the application, about the procedure. So within time, they will tighten and scrutinize more because of where a system is abused. So I've been answering a question that's been going round and causing a lot of debate and talk among our community about whether the code for carers, which is 6145, has been removed from from a code that you can use to grant somebody a certificate of sponsorship which enables them to work. So what I've said is, yes, it doesn't appear on the skilled occupation on the list, but it still does appear on eligible health and education occupation codes, where going rates are based on national pay scales. So it still appears there as 6145, and we've been able still to assign, post the 7th of August, to assign some certificates of sponsorship for 6145. And some employers have had batches come through of new certificates of sponsorship after the 7th of August, which were based on 6145. I've tried to check with the Home Office. I've tried to check and authenticate the information to see whether this has been removed completely, and I haven't been able to find any confirmation that the code 6145 has been removed. So that's what I was just talking about for those who are joining now. But I was saying that things may change in the near future. Maybe it's a sign that things are changing, and the Home Office can come and change something in a day. They can change rules instantly and change them. So like, for example, students were able to come in and study, but even if they hadn't finished their course, they were middle of their course, they were able to switch to a skilled worker visa. Now that was changed on the same day. The Home Office said instantly, any applications that are made post this date, we're now saying you need to have completed your course before you can switch from Tier 4 student to skilled worker. because people were coming and not finishing their courses. So the Home Office then put measures in place to ensure that people finish their courses as students before they switch to working. So that is something that was done instantly. So it's really important to know that when things change, things can change. So if you are intending to come here, if you're intending to recruit people to bring them, you might as well, just do what you need to do so that you can have measures in place before change, because no go change. And that's how it's always been here. Immigration laws in England are the fastest moving area of law, which is changed. It's changed. Like, it changes so fast. You can't even keep up with it. Even as we struggle to keep up with it, we have to always be reading, always finding out, searching on, there's so much information in our sector for immigration lawyers, where we have to keep up to date because it changes really quick. So it's important to know what's happening. But the word on the ground is that there is a lot of abuse. And I just want to just say, to our communities that, hey, anyway live, but what I want to say is that, there's a lot of complaints about people who are arriving who don't have work. And there is one case, how it is with England, yeah? That when the police are investigating, they will arrest you and then they will investigate. And then case it will come out in court like after a year, after 18 months, and then you'll see it published in newspapers. But things will have been going on, right? So I'm speaking as Munumkuru because I'm a Munumkuru. So, when people do things and think they can get away with it, sometimes it's that's not it, because they will be watching and they'll be investigating and they'll be gathering intelligence and they'll be looking at things. So even things that we say, because things, it doesn't hide, things don't hide. So when you are selling passage to the UK, when you are trafficking people and you think you're helping people because you don't have a job, there are people who don't have jobs, but it causes problems, in the future. And it can end, and I'm sure we're going to see in the next couple of years people going to prison, and we're going to see the law will come round, and there's already been instances of people who've been arrested, and no one is going to come and shout out and say, I've been arrested. But there are people who have been arrested, and we can come out and give you details and say people have been arrested, but it's a warning to say, what, we must be very careful. People must be careful. If you're a person who is an employer, don't get carried away, because things come round and then it comes back to bite you. And it's not even about kufiksana. It's not even about anything to do with like the Zimbabwean community or the migrant community. It's to do with the rule of law. It's to do with laws that are put in place to protect people, laws that are put into place to protect nations. So it's very important for us to follow the law, because it does come back. Things will come out. So there's so many offenses that people commit without knowing that they're committing an offense. So there's the offense of human trafficking. That is a big offense. There is offense of money laundering. There is offenses of breaching like immigration laws and signing documents. And when you sign and you say to somebody, I am a sponsor and I'm responsible and I'm going to follow the law, when you breach the law, criminal offenses. So it's so important for us to be very aware of what we do. When opportunities come, we take opportunities to get staff for businesses. That's fair enough. But when people take advantage of a system, then we know that it will come back. And you know, there was there's so many stories that I have of the law coming back, but just be careful. You know, it's just a word of caution. You know, let's just be very careful about what we do. Ngatisafarisa tichiona like opportunities, because you destroy your career, you destroy your business, you destroy your life so easily, because you are getting a little bit of money. You know, it might seem like a lot of money, but in the long run, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So it's so important to be aware and to do things that are right, that are correct. And my father always told me, I'm so scared of doing things which can get me into trouble. And he just said, just be honest, mwanangu, you know, just walk in your life slowly, steady, and be a person of integrity. You're not going to get there fast. And, you know, it's something he always said to us. He always, you know that. So it's something where, you know, I'm so scared of doing things that will cause me to get into trouble and breaking the law. But there's some people, they just do it. But the law does come round. And, you know, it's so important for us to be careful, to take measures and steps to safeguard ourselves and to protect ourselves and to make sure we're doing the right thing according to the law. So I hope that is clear. Funda Muno Honeypot says, vari kufarisa vanhu vacho, even macourse acho, imagine they do video calls kuhama vari pakati kuma clients kuita video. Yeah. And you know, even those things where there's safeguarding breaches, where people are taking advantage of vulnerable people, where you can't try, because if you're used to chikiribidi, you can't keep on doing chikiribidi, because it will catch up with you and you end up getting arrested or going into prison or being debarred. I mean, like, seriously, you make all that effort to come here, and then you do take shortcuts, corners, and then your DBS, you're barred from working with vulnerable people. You can't even work in the care sector. Things can go wrong so easily here. Things can go wrong. And when they go wrong, it just affects so many things. Like, you know, it's not as simple, but drink driving offenses. Drink driving offenses, they can cause you to be banned from working, because if you're going for your calls and you're drunk, and you lose your license, you can't do your work. It affects your visa, it affects your family. So it's not our home here, you know. As much as we are from Tulia and we want people to settle, this is not our home. So your permission to live here is temporary. It's not even permanent. So if your permission to come here, and you've come and you've worked here, you're not here forever. You know, it can be taken away at any time. At any time. So we just do need to be careful, to warn each other, and not kufarisa. So yes, that is good. I was yes, I'm answering questions, and I'm just checking to see if there's any other questions. If you're joining late, please listen back. I talked about 6145 under skilled worker. And you know, the questions about, is this skilled worker visa being taken away? Is it being revoked and everything? We must always know. You know, when you are a person who is in a place where you are temporarily, where there's an opportunity that's open, these things are temporary. You know, nothing is ever permanent. It changes. It's fluid depending on the needs. Opportunities come, opportunities go. So it's important to always be mindful of that. And yes, Macy, that's very true, Macy, that it's a serious safeguarding and confidentiality breach where you're talking about your clients on video call, and you're talking to your relatives and doing that, or putting them on social media and things like that, or talking about really detailed things about clients. asking things on groups and social media. All of that is really serious breaches of confidentiality. And where you have an employer who then like reports you to for your DBS or POVO for when you're working with adults, or LADO when you're working with young people, and you're reported because they have to, or to the CQC or to Ofsted, and they have to safeguard their business, and you're doing things which are not right, and then they report you. It's not that or they're trying to protect their livelihood, they're trying to protect their business. So they have to make those reports. Doing that reporting where there's serious breaches, the repercussions on everyone is too much. So they don't have loyalty to an individual. An employer will have loyalty to the vulnerable person who is using their service. That's the person that they have to be loyal to, rather than being loyal to you. And that's why, like, the Home Office they've got rules about when you employ your relatives, you've got to make disclosures. Even like CQC, they want you to make disclosures. I know with Ofsted as well, they want you to make those disclosures, because panocheta conflict of interest. Hama yako ikarova munhu who you're looking after. If your relative beats a person or does something to a vulnerable person, you're going to be thinking, oh, my relative, their visa, or the people back, you're going to be thinking about the impact. But you are supposed to be thinking about the service that you're providing to the people who are using your service. That's your that's your duty, and you're answerable to that. So it's not that they're trying to punish people, or I know there's some people who are not nice, but that duty is so important. So whatever we do, we have to hold ourselves to a very high standard in everything. And I think it is important for people to have that coaching from their employers. But generally, even as we talk, in our communities and talk to each other, we do have to help each other on that. Funda Munu, that's really true. Thank you for that. Right, that's great. I am generally I'm here for about half an hour on a Friday. I'm back, and today I was just answering just that one question and just catching up with everybody. Macy has said, when applying for ILR, can one apply at the same time with the dependent child who joined a year later? So Macy, it just depends if the other parent is there. So if it's just the child who joined a year later, or if it is, I don't want to answer that now, because I did a consultation with someone about that this week, and I know we were checking through the rules, but I don't remember offhand. I think if it's a child who came by themselves, you can apply at the same time. But if it's a child who came with your other, like the father, and they are behind, they have to catch up to get to 5 years individually. So they have to get to 5 years so that they can't apply with you after completing 4. They have to complete 5 years. So I will definitely double check that, and maybe I'll come back with that. Our consultation, I'll send the links. And about teaching, what I'll do, Tanya Radzwa, I will come back and do something specifically on teaching next week. But they've reduced it so that you can teach without the actual qualification. They changed the rules. And we've done one on teaching, so I'll share that link as well for you, because that will be quite useful. But I don't want to talk to 100% right now. So, but I will come back and do something on teaching for you. And then Macy will come back with your answer. If you want to book a consultation, our website is www.tulia.org.uk. And I'll post a link. I did post a link above. I'll post another one. And I'll also post some links for the consultation today. Half of our team is away. People are not around, so we haven't been posting the links straight away, but I'll post them so that you can access them later. And thank you very much for giving us stars. Thank you, Jay Spears. Thank you, Spiwe Malala. And Spiwe, thank you for double stars. Thank you so much for the stars. Thank you for supporting us and supporting the work that we're doing. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And I'll be back next Friday. I'm now back from holiday. Zorora ya pera, back to work. So I will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful weekend and hope you get some sunshine. Take care. Bye-bye.